Everybody, it's Victoria Marie back with another scrapbook process video, and today I'm doing a layout of my cousins. It's aptly called cousins. We don't see each other often, and at my mom's retirement party we all decided to take a picture, so that was really great. Kind of document the one time that we actually see each other. So I'm going to use a few of the papers from the Heart It Races Scraptastic kit for October. And what I'm showing you are some of the papers, one of which is from the Shamil Lane line, her premier line, and you can cut those little squares, which I'm about to do. The paper with the leaves on it is from Teresa Collins, and then I'm going to back all of that on a dark piece of textured cardstock that came with the kit, and it's charcoal. This little paper came with enough of those squares for me to use them in another project, so that's good. So I'm going to use about 2 of those on the layout. So what I'm going to do is, I had a vision of doing sort of a more layered, clustered scrapbook page, and I got this idea from a layout on Pinterest, and if I can find it, I will link it below. So I do want to give credit where credit's due, where I've gotten inspiration from, if it's not my original idea. And this particular layout will also call for stitching, and I'm kind of lazy when it comes to sewing on my scrapbook pages, and so I'm going to do some faux stitching. The Scraptastic Kit Club for this month, the Heart It Races kit, came with those beautiful doilies. I don't normally use doilies because sometimes I think they look silly on a page, but I've been seeing a lot of process videos where people are using doilies, and so I thought I'll give it a shot. So I take one of them and cut them in half, and I'm going to mount these layers on the doilies. I'm going to use some Tombow Mono adhesive. It's one of my favorite adhesives, and I'm going to adhere all of those together, which you're not going to see, but I like putting them together because if I'm doing a layered look like this, so that if I want to move that piece around the page, I can do that without having to move every individual piece. I just don't have time for that. So I ain't got time for that. So I'm going to take some washi tape, which is very, very easy to use on pages, as well as adhering stuff to stuff, and so that's what I'm going to do. That way it'll hold all those layers together without them falling apart. And that particular washi tape, the little polka dot washi tape, I got, I believe, from Hobby Lobby, and I think it's from the Recollections collection. And it's a wide washi tape. That's kind of my favorite size of washi tape. I'm going to flip that over and see how that looks. And I'm thinking I'm going to keep that piece right there in that position on the paper. I tend to like the orientation of things to go down and to the right. There may be a psychological reason for that, I don't know. It just looks appealing to me. So now I'm marking to where I want to put the faux stitching, and I'm using just my ruler. I'm not doing any major, it may look like I'm measuring, but I'm totally not. I'm just trying to get the lines as straight as possible because I don't have an eye for straight. So a ruler is my best friend, and sometimes I even flub that using a ruler. So I'm making little dashes, and when you're doing faux stitching, you can make your lines as small or as short as you want. So now I'm going to take out the stamps, the coordinating stamps that come with the kit, which are beautiful. I'm going to take some white pigment ink and color box, and I'm going to stamp the page, and it says I think it says, "This is lovely." Beautiful stamped images that came with this kit. I'm so excited to use this. And it kind of looks like chalk on the page. And I'm thinking, do I want to stamp all over that box, or do I just want to leave that one image? And I'm just going to probably leave it the way it is. Then on the sketch that inspired me, it had mist as part of the background element to kind of give it some dimension. And I thought, well, I'll just take some white mist to do it, and it doesn't work out. If anything, it just makes my page soggy. I used Mr. Huey's white, opaque white, and it just showed up. It didn't show up is the problem. And so then I thought, well, maybe I'll just splatter and try to give it that look, and then I'm going to blot it a bit with a paper towel, and that's just not working. I kind of regret doing this because it looked just fine the way it was, but I thought I had to give it a little bit more interest, and it didn't work out the way that I wanted to. So in any event, we move on with life. So then I put some dimensional strips on the back to sort of pop that piece up, and I'm doing some journaling. I'm talking about how it's not often that my cousins and I get together. We were at my mom's retirement party, and I said, quick, let's all take a picture, because everyone lives far apart, and well, some of us live closer together, but We don't get to see each other often. We're all adults and have our lives and things, and it was just good for us to all take a picture together. So now I'm looking through my bin with my wood embellishments, my wood veneer embellishments, which I love wood veneer. And with the kit, it came with this gorgeous ampersand, which I'm later going to stamp with some of the ink, the Prima ink that they sent with the kit. I cannot talk. It's been a long week, y'all, and I talk for a living, so bear with me. So I'm going to end up stamping that ampersand here in a minute. Now I'm getting out some cute little clips from Freckled Fawn, and they're very thin clip embellishments. Unfortunately, the manufacturer, I guess in order to hold these clips together, back them on some adhesive, and it's very difficult to take them off. So if you have this product, please be careful. You will bend your clips. If you're like me, I'm so excited to use stuff, and I'm kind of like a bull in the china cabinet sometimes, and I need to slow down. But I was really trying to get this clip off, and I ended up bending it because they are so thin, and you'll have to reshape them. So just be careful with that if you get this product, whether through the kit or somewhere else. So I go ahead and put one of the clips at the top, and then I'm going to go ahead and ink that ampersand with the Prima ink. And these Prima inks are quite juicy. You do want to give them time to dry. I believe they're a pigment ink, chalk ink. But it's so beautiful the way that it came out, and it looks very pretty against that charcoal gray paper. I'm going to end up adhering that with some glossy accents here in a minute. All right, so I pull out some of my die cuts that come with the kit, as well as some font stickers by Simple Stories. And these font stickers are, oh gee, how would you describe them? They are not quite sheer stickers. I don't know how you describe them, but they're very thin, very delicate, so it took me a while to sort of get them in place. But they're very, very pretty. And I'm spelling out cousins at the top on that journaling card. Often when I'm spelling backwards, I have to write the word out. I'm not good at spelling backwards, but I want to make sure that the title fits where I want it to be. Now I'm looking at the Teresa Collins rub-ons. I love rub-ons. This particular set comes with a lot of flower rub-ons, and I'm not big on flowers, but I'm going to use it anyway. However, on this particular layout, I was concerned that the rub-on wouldn't show on the dark cardstock, so I wanted to test and kind of see if I used one where I would put it. I have made the mistake sometimes of committing to the rub-on the page and not liking it, and then of course you can't take it off. So now I'm looking through the die cuts and I'm deciding what I want to embellish, and I find this little frame, and it's actually this little die cut, as you can see me pulling it apart, has 3 of those little stripe frames. And I wanted to add that to the page for a little bit of interest. I needed something else dark on that page, and I also needed kind of a different pattern. So I'm going to cut that and frame that top corner there with that little stripe frame, and I'm also going to frame the bottom corner where the ampersand is. And that just popped for me, and I think it looks really, really cool. So I'm putting that in place. And then I think at this point, oh yes, I'm going to go ahead and put some glossy accents on the ampersand, which I absolutely love. It's so pretty. And you could also, too, to add a little bit more interest, just take that glossy accents and you can coat your embellishments with it, let it dry, and it will appear glossy. So for those of you who've never used glossy accents, give that a try. So I'm looking at the stickers. That sticker sheet is a Teresa Collins sticker sheet, and so I'm looking to see what my options are and what will work. I'm thinking I might use those arrows because I want to draw attention to the picture. Then I saw that banner. So I'm just looking for things that'll kind of finish off the page. I put that banner on the side, and then I'm going to decide against that because it was too dark, in my opinion. So I'm going to switch that up here in just a second. Put that banner back on. If you don't pull those off your page too much, they will go back on, the stickers will go back on the sticker sheet without fuss. Then I'm going to take another one of these little banners here, and I believe that one says love or lovely. I can't quite tell as I'm recording. My picture frame is kind of small, and I don't have the layout in front of me. I actually did this process video a few days ago, and life has been so hectic, I've actually now had a chance to edit and do the voiceover. So now I'm thinking I need something to back this on because the dark paper was just too dark. And so I'm going through the various paper options and I'm loving them all, but that, particularly that one, I really love it, but it just seemed too busy. And so I go with this sort of spotted little hexagon dots, I guess that's how you would describe it, from Pebbles. And I'm looking at some other options. There's some really delicious papers that come with this kit. So those who subscribe and have purchased this kit, you're going to have a lot of fun with it if you haven't already received it. So I'm looking at some other options. That's a Chamel Lane paper, and it has scripts on the other side and stripes on the B side, and it's so pretty. That's a little calendar paper I thought about using, but I have that for a different project. So I go ahead and commit to the little dotted hexagon paper, and I'm looking at all of my wood veneers. I'm trying to decide what other embellishments that I want to finish it off. I get that flare, grab the flare. It ultimately, I don't believe, stays on the page. And usually when there's a lot of pattern paper and other things going on the page, I don't feel it necessary to do a lot of heavy embellishment because the paper kind of does it for you. So now I'm looking at some beautiful enamel stars. I love enamel dots and enamel stars and enamel hearts. Some of my favorite embellishments to use. Then I find a tab on the sticker sheet that I'm trying to figure out if it'll go on the page. I see something else that I want, so I put that on there, another sticker. And then these enamel stars that go on. These are a little bit bigger than the ones that I showed just a minute ago. I'm kind of looking to see where I want to add a little bit more interest on the page, and so I'm going to add a little bit more of those tiny little stars. Just a little bit of touches go a long way. And these are teeny, teeny, tiny, so you do want to be careful if you get them. So I think I am happy with this page. I will have pictures of the page at the end of the video as well as on my blog. Please be sure to visit me. In addition to watching more of my scrapbook videos at victoriamarieblog.wordpress.com. Thanks so much.